sit in your gaming chairs comfortably and prepare yourself for the Below Average Gamers podcast. Prepare for some below par, below your expectations, and below average discussion about everything games and enjoy.
Hello everyone and welcome to Below Average Gamers podcast. You're here with me, Dan. We've also got Tom. Do you want to say hi?
Hello everyone, good to be back.
Good to be back again. Yep, very good to be back. And we've got a very action-packed episode because this is the episode, Tom. Do you remember what exciting event we have going on in today's episode?
I do. It's game on time. Our first ever game on.
Our first ever game on challenge has all been organised and all been prepared. And so we will be obviously showing some of that throughout this episode. Tom, you don't actually know who won, do you?
No, I don't know the results, so I guess I'll just have to listen to the pod.
You're gonna have to listen to the pod and find out, yeah, because it's gonna be a very exciting time, and we're gonna crack on straight to the beginning of the game on challenge in a very short moment. Crack on, but not just yet, because do you remember our exciting riddle from last week?
Absolutely not. No.
Yeah, and probably not. To
I believe this was the riddle I got actually. If you.
Oh yeah.
Tell me the riddle.
Yeah, okay, sure, no problem. I'll see if you got it. I believe the riddle was along the lines of, this is a game that is virtual but not.
Oh, I didn't get that.
You made it.
Oh, this is my riddle.
You definitely made it. So, I was hoping you could give us the answer as you created it.
The answer is...
Yeah, please, hit us.
This is a game that's
Crack
virtual,
the egg.
but
Crack
not.
the egg of knowledge, wisdom all over our head, please.
It's 11 table tennis. Because it's virtual, but you're actually doing it in real life. Thank you. Moving on.
Okay, all right. I'll allow that rationale, I suppose. I suppose that's fair enough. All right, so that's anyway last week's riddle. Don't worry, this week we have actually got a genuine riddle at the end of this episode.
Well, that was genuine, and it was a good riddle.
I think you should listen back to that episode and hear how not sure of what you were saying you were at the time.
I don't remember this at all.
All right, anyway, we're going to crack on because there is a lot of things to do this episode. So let's start off with our first part of the Game On Challenge starting now.
Finally, game day has arrived for our first ever Game On Challenge, where these two titans, Spencer and Tom, will face off to test Spencer's skills at NHL. His claims of exponential skill are being put to the test in one simple way. As Tom prepares his ingredients for his nachos, Spencer will explain us the rules of the game.
It's a challenge for Tom for NHL 21. I try and score 5 or more goals before he can make a plate of nachos, which would be a classic ice hockey meal, I guess. So, good luck to you in the nachos. I'm kind of jealous you get nachos, and I'm just here with beer and no nachos, so...
As Spencer set up the NHL game, Tom, of course, had to prep all his ingredients as every professional chef knows they should do. And, of course, everything was homemade as requested.
Hello and welcome to Tricky T's Nachos. So what we're going to do here is a very basic little nacho dish. Got beef mince, you got cheese, you got refried beans, and then I made this earlier, chunky salsa, guacamole.
As Tom begins the preparations for his nachos, Spencer is well on the way in the game. The whistle's blown, and the players, the hockey people, what's the lingo for hockey games? I don't know. The hockey opponents start playing the game with their pucks going from one side of the pitch, the ground, the ice rink, the ring. I think it's the ring. And obviously that game is well on ahead. Immediately, a crisis begins over on Tom's side of things.
Now, I don't really know what to do when it comes to... oh shit, I've chopped a lot of that onion off. But we don't need much onion.
Only at the beginning stages, and Tom was already crumbling, asking for advice from people around him.
What was I going to say? Yeah, I don't really know what to do with the onion. Is that going in the guacamole? I don't know. Is anyone allowed to talk to me? Can I ask questions?
Evidently, the challenge of developing these nachos were harder than I think he originally anticipated. Meanwhile, Spencer in the thick of his NHL game with some professional commentating from our Canadian representative, Johanna.
So the white team is Tampa, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the white people have the puck. The white jersey.
People, that sounds so bad.
With some impressive play going on in this NHL game, a goal was finally scored by Spencer. The pressure was really increasing over in Tom's kitchen.
Okay, and the Oilers have the puck, and now Tampa has the puck. And they're skating. And now Oilers have the puck. Bounced off the boards. Here he goes. Pass. Goal!
Some truly impressive commentating there from our Canadian representative, Johanna. Finally, after 4 minutes, the onion crisis was resolved. The next problem was the meat. As every intelligent chef knows to do, you test the frying pan with a bare hand to make sure it's hot. This one, unfortunately, was not.
Did you really just put your hand on? No, you're not.
With the pressure really on, Tom's only decision was to resort back to cutting more onions.
You get these nice and small, because the facts are people don't really like onions, but they don't realise how much they like onions. So if you sort of sneak them in, then it's alright.
With Spencer well on the way in his NHL game, Tom evaluated where he thought Spencer might be.
So little about NHL, so I'm thinking he's probably scored. How long are we in? I don't even know. Let's say we're 10 minutes in. I think he's 3 goals in. I think I've got another 5 to 6 minutes, which isn't going to get this done. But if I had a better hob, I would have had it done hours ago.
Whilst Tom finally gets the meat cooking on the frying pan, over on Spencer's side, it seems tides are taking a turn.
And they're shooting, and they scored.
With the AI scoring a goal, it may be a sign of pressure starting to really climb over Spencer, and that 5-goal limit becoming less likely, giving Tom more chance to get these nachos ready.
All right, so we will get back to the Game On challenge a little bit later. Tom, are you feeling the suspense of the Game On challenge so far?
I can't wait to see what happens, yeah. It's really exciting.
It is quite dramatic, and I have to tell you, it's going to be a very, very dramatic finish as well, so keep in with the episode. So
I mean, at the time, it felt like it was going to be dramatic, because I sort of predicted his time to score 5 goals was about 20 minutes, I don't know, and I'm not sure where I actually finished time-wise, but it can't have been much more than 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it was close. I cannot tell you a lie here. It was a very, very close goal. So
we
we'll
look
see
forward
what
to seeing it.
We
so
will.
we're moving on to what we've been playing, and a lot's been going on, actually. I've been mixing up my Steam library a bit. I've been playing a few different things. I mean, I say that.
Are you about to make the same joke? I feel like every time we do this segment, you make that
Rocket
joke.
League.
It's just like every time.
I mean, okay, so I've been getting back into driving a lot. Like F1 season's back, driving games are back for me. I'm so tempted to spend thousands and thousands of pounds on a wheel.
To clarify, here you already have a wheel.
I have
make
a
it sound like
cheap
this is
wheel,
a new purchase. Cheap wheel. It's like a perfectly functioning wheel. A cheap wheel.
It's the starting set. It's the £200 Logitech G920. It's just that's where you start, and from there you move on to the thousands and thousands of pounds.
And it just keeps going. This is the world of a gamer for you. Is everything is always more expensive, and there's only one journey we take, and it's up. We never get things for a deal.
There's not a million hobbies in my life, and this is certainly one of them. So the money is, you can justify it by saying that, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everyone else is spending money on their hobbies, so we spend money on ours.
Anyway, yeah. So F1, Project Cars, Assetto Corsa, playing all of them, loving all of them. But it seems to be quite a phasey thing for me, driving games. I really enjoy it for a long time, and then I just kind of stop for months, and I'll be back.
I'd be surprised if a lot of gamers aren't the same, to be honest. I think racing games are that sort of a game. It is kind of a phasey one of which you enjoy it for a large portion of time, and then you've sort of done it, and then you come back to it later. Sort of like Formula 1, like seasons. Like, they come, they go. Like, it's not consistent.
Exactly, yeah. And it's actually a similar thing with, like, football games. Actually watching a sport live makes you go... Like, the golf's on right now, and my most recent played game is PGA Tour 2K21.
It is actually on sale at the moment. I was very tempted to buy it.
I mean, it's a really fun game, but again, I haven't touched that in months, and the golf come on, I'm like, I have to play that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think
F1... To be honest, I just upped the difficulty on it, and now it's become a very challenging game, whereas before it was just too easy.
Yeah, definitely. And I think F1, especially, like you say, the F1 season has started now, and also Netflix is obviously doing this Drive to Survive series, which I've been watching per your recommendation, and that got me right back into it. So I've been joining you on the F1 hype, although I just use a measly controller. Must be nice over there in your ivory tower with your complete virtual setup. I unfortunately just have my Xbox 360 controller. No, it's Xbox One even. Sad times.
Okay, so outside of that, for me, outside of driving games, I have been playing Binding of Isaac. They've actually just released the last massive update.
Is that why it's on Steam suddenly again? I saw it just pop up again.
Yeah, it's a new bit of DLC. It's Binding of Isaac Repentance. It's basically a new game. There's so much different stuff going on. And Binding of Isaac will always hold a place in my heart as probably my second most played most. My
Blep,
second
blep, blep, blep,
played.
blep,
My
blep.
second most played game. Yeah, just behind Rocket
What's
League,
the other
probably.
game they made recently? Because haven't they released the same makers? Didn't they release another game recently? Or am I imagining that? That's not real, is it?
They did have the Bumbo game, The Legend of Bumbo,
That doesn't sound
which
like what I was thinking
was
of.
a tile matching game. They also make Super Meat Boy, I believe.
Oh, Super Meat Boy 2 came out. That's what it is.
Yeah, Super
Yeah,
Meat Boy
yeah,
Forever.
Yeah, or whatever it's
Um,
called. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay, and lastly for me, Golftopia. All right.
Oh, yeah, you've been raving about this to me.
This is seriously something that you did not know you was missing out on until you play it. This is a so like Roller Coaster Tycoon, but you build a golf park.
Yeah.
18 holes, you keep customers happy, but there's all sorts to it. It's a futuristic park, so there's a lot you can. It's essentially mini golf in a proper golf course. So there's all sorts of loop-de-loop stuff to put in. Loads. It's really, really good. It's under 15 quid. And I said it's the most fun I've had with a simulator like that since Roller Coaster Tycoon 3.
And that is sort of the. I mean, we were kids when we played that, but that was the
Yeah.
bar, right? That was the
Yeah,
bar of
yeah.
our experience.
But I've been playing, the hospital one and
Theme Hospital.
no, the more recent one.
Recent hospital one.
Yeah,
Twin
yeah.
Peaks or something. It's like Twin something.
No.
Twin
no,
something
no.
Hospital. Yeah, it is that.
No,
Yeah, it
no,
is
no,
that.
No, it's not. It's
called,
not.
It's called Twin something. Twin
It's not.
something hospital.
Well, so there's that and the and again I don't know the name. The roller coaster one. The project.
yeah.
Project. No.
Parkitect.
Zoo?
Parkitect?
No, Parkitect is one. But I'm talking about the big one. The Planet Zoo. Planet Zoo. They've got Planet Zoo.
Oh,
and
Planet
they've got
Zoo.
Planet Roller Coaster. Let's call it.
Yeah. Fine. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But they just let me down in a way. I just don't think they're quite. I think it might be that they're not simple enough. They're a bit too cartoony.
Can you play your courses in Golftopia, or is it just
Yes.
you? What? Oh, you
Yeah,
can.
You have your manager you can send. That isn't particularly fun. No.
Oh, is it not? Oh,
That
it's-
is not the.
Because
the
I don't
draw of
see
the
what the
game.
enjoyment of making a course is if you can't try it out.
Because you watch other people try out and then they're like, "Ooh, I love the uphill battle here. Oh, dogleg, this is great." But then, no, it's satisfying. But I've played probably 4 hours of it. I finished my course and
You're sort of done.
I'm not sure I'll be going back. But
it-
it's again, there'll be updates and
That's
the
like
game will
a
change.
good example, yeah, of like experience game where like you'll enjoy it for that period of time. So you're paying for the short-term fun. It's not like a replayability type.
But
game,
it's
is
not short term. Like the reason we love Roller Coaster Tycoon, you could build a park in 4 hours, but we were
Start
kids.
again.
You didn't have 234 games to choose from on your Steam
it?
library.
It's true.
You just
yeah.
sat there on Roller Coaster Tycoon.
We're
every night.
spoiled now. We got spoiled.
Yeah,
for
that,
so many
it's
games.
true. Honestly, I believe that.
Yeah, it's true. All right, let me move on because we're gonna take too long otherwise. My games then. So this is a real twist and turn. I decided to try Cyberpunk again after all these updates. So I was really excited to get back into it. And you know what? Actually,
And we
surprising-
said we was going to come back to it, didn't we?
we did, and I have. And for those who haven't heard the previous episode, we spoke about Cyberpunk. We loved it at first, and then we quite quickly fell out of love with it when we realized how much it didn't work. My phone is beeping. Let me just turn that off.
That's
And
poor. That's
that's
basic podcast
poor
management.
podcasting. And so I wanted to see now the update's done with it all fixed. And do you know what? Actually, quite surprisingly, it's definitely not fixed. It is.
Oh my god, you honestly had me going there. I was like, I swear you was having a terrible time with it.
No, it is 100% not fixed. I literally started the game. I'm not even exaggerating this. I started the game and I spawned in the air and I fell to the ground and died. Now, I assume that'd be a one-time problem, so I reloaded the game. Guess what happened? I started in the air, I fell to the ground, and I died. And that happened about 5 or 6 times.
How was this solved?
I had to load a previous load game and go backwards, which was way further back as well. So I had to do all these missions.
Because to be
again.
fair, I'm sure you saved the game when you was 100 meters up in the air when you left.
You
last
can't
time.
even get into the air though. That's not an option.
It's-
And then to top it all off, I go, fine, I'll do the earliest save. And I had to do all these extra missions. And I start doing this mission, and mid-mission, the game crashes. And after that, that's it. I uninstalled. I'm never giving it another chance. It's lost all hope for me.
This is with the 1.2 update.
Yeah, with the update.
That was supposedly the fix to everything.
The only thing I would say that seemed to be fixed is it was optimized a lot better. The visuals appeared better with a lot better frames per second, and it flew better despite my graphics demand, which originally was not the case. Originally, when I turned the graphics up, I was not.
Yeah,
able to
I
play.
had major issues with mine.
Yeah. So
like, and I've got what is, a good PC. So
yeah, exactly.
to not be able to run a new game was ridiculous.
Yeah, so that
Anyway.
that was disappointing. And then only other two games I'll quickly mention. I won't go too much because it's an old game anyway. But Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, I'm replaying that because I've actually played that before, and it is. I mean, for any Star Wars fans out there who enjoy like the sort of grindy combat games, it's the one for you. I'm really rate it. It's a very well-made game, and I even enjoy the story. It's better than most of the Star Wars films as of late since the Disney saga. So I would highly recommend, if you haven't played it, to play that. And my last one is a VR game, because we have been talking about VR recently, and I'm still playing.
Oh, I nearly bought it as well. I know what you're going to say.
Elite Dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Elite Dangerous. Now, if you've ever watched Firefly, the TV show, which is like a sci-fi show where you explore space, or really any sci-fi, really, if you want to feel like that, Elite Dangerous is the game for you. You basically traverse space doing various missions, and you make your own adventure in the game. If you're someone that likes to be told what to do, it's the wrong game for you. This game is very much about you working out what's going on.
I love the sound of that, though. And do you know what we do need to give a go? No Man's Sky, because that is VR.
Yeah, and it has been, like, from the days of it not being good, it's been revamped. Which might happen to Cyberpunk one day. Who knows? Probably not, though.
I think they're done with that.
I think it was too ambitious.
What did they make before that was actually good?
Who? The Cyberpunk guys?
Yeah.
The Witcher.
The Witcher.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I think just keep it quiet.
Keep
act
it
like
what you know.
Cyberpunk never existed.
Yeah, put that under the
bring
rug.
out a new Witcher.
You've got a TV show coming out that'll get you a lot of attention.
Season 2 of that out soon.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
I actually just ruined one of my gaming news stories. So.
Just scratch that one off the list. Can't use that again.
But yeah, season 2 soon. And I loved the first season, so I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, stick with The Witcher, guys. I think I think you went with this cyberpunk idea. Good try. And actually, visually, it does look really cool. I
Great
can't deny.
try. Listen, if it weren't broken, it'd be brilliant.
Yeah. I really did enjoy the visuals. The city looked cool. I like the idea of this cyber tech thing going on. Unfortunately, you've obviously done something really wrong. And
They
you're trying
took
to fix
on
it
too much.
Yeah.
They went from The Witcher, which is something based on a book, and then which had the story. You know what I mean? The Witcher had its story. They didn't have to create that.
Yeah.
And they tried to make this whole new thing out of nothing, bringing in Keanu Reeves. A huge amount of people were interested. It was just a bit of a mistake from day one.
Yeah, it didn't go quite as planned. So, I mean, if any of you guys out there are hoping to try Cyberpunk again, don't bother. I mean, maybe one day they'll fix it, but it's definitely not today.
I mean, I'll try it before the next pod and let you know, because there's 2 of us here. Let's see.
Wait for the next update, and then you try.
All right, Captain.
All right. All right. Otherwise, I think we need to move on, and let's carry on with what's been going on in our Game On Challenge, part 2 for that, and see how Tom and Spencer are getting along. So let's go on to that.
Getting along.
Tom, trying to speed up and get things done quicker, starts grating cheese as fast as he can, and then, of course, as always, resorts back to cutting more onions.
Now, the great thing about grating is it's just great. So, we're going to want a lot of this, really. So, I'm going to be at this for probably a minute or 2.
As the first section, third, quarter, whatever you call it in NHL, ends and finally comes to a close, we turn to our representative Johanna to hear some words from Spencer.
What is your hockey philosophy?
Philosophy? I don't know. I'm just shooting it. Hope it goes in. What kind of question is that?
What do you want out of this team?
Hopefully a win. 5 goals, so I don't lose this challenge.
Do you feel that winning is important?
Yeah. If not, then you're losing. So yeah.
All right. What do you think of the game so far? What are your thoughts and feelings on this game so far?
I'm pretty happy with the performance so far. It's, shots are pretty even actually. 12. Tampa Bay has 11, but I'm up 2 goals right now, which is good. Haven't been so great in my own end, but hey, as long as I got 5 goals, is all that matters. If I lose 6-5, that's okay. So.
What do you think Tom is doing at this point? So, obviously right now, in total, it's been about 11 minutes.
That's tough to say. I'd probably say he's probably definitely grated some cheese. He has that ready to go right now. He's squashing up some, mashing up some avocados, making some guac, getting his salsa ready.
Turning over to Tom's kitchen, he prepares his homemade guacamole and salsa, which he slaved over with all the fresh ingredients from the farthest parts of the land.
More onions. And I think that's probably enough. Now, I wouldn't usually use a knife for this task, but it's all I've got to hand. Right, that's going to be delicious. We're going to spread that, maybe on a layer, like layer 1 of nachos.
Like a lasagna.
And then, yeah, that sounds good.
The next part of NHL begins, and the difficulties really start to arise. For a full game of NHL to be played, Tom will probably have more than enough time to prepare his nachos. So the pressure is really on Spencer now to score those 5 goals sooner rather than later to cut off Tom's time limit.
And Oilers have the puck, and now they don't, and they're skating, and they're passing, and Tampa has the puck, and he's skating. I don't know any of the players, and it's hard to see their numbers.
In Tom's kitchen, pressure is still high. Tom is busy grating cheese until the worst thing could possibly happen.
Might have just cut myself. Shit, man. That hurt.
You okay?
Yeah, I'll be alright.
Yeah. Soldier.
Yeah.
It appeared a massive grating cheese incident had occurred. This injury could be the thing that changes the game. Would Tom's ability and speed to be able to prepare these nachos be affected by the injury he had now sustained?
Okay, welcome back. We'll tune back into the Game On challenge a bit later.
Yep.
But for now...
It'll be
Sorry?
the final part. Oh,
Right, we'll
no,
be
let's try that.
thanks for ruining my intro. I was really on a roll there, but
Sorry.
fair enough. We're going to move on to No Brainer Club now. For some of the fans that have been around a bit longer, I believe we've actually only ever done this once before. So
Twice
before.
Mm-hmm.
Shall I let you roll the intro music?
Yeah, let's roll it.
Roll it. Okay, amazing music there once again by Daniel there.
Daniel Kirk original. Thank you very much.
So I believe you have some submissions. I do have some things I want to talk about, but let's go over the submissions. Remember, anyone can submit to the No Brainer Club via Instagram, Facebook, email, whatever you want.
And it's always Below Average Gamers Podcast. That's all you got to search for. For the email, it's belowaveragegamerspodcast@gmail.com. And just for those who might be new to the show, No Brainer Club is basically just about things that you would want in your gaming setup. And they could be anything from things that are actually generally useful to things that probably aren't, but sound hilarious and could be useful in some ways or another. And
they
so
are
let us know.
intended to be things that we believe you should have on your gaming desk.
Yeah, I mean, wait to hear these submissions. And
Okay.
you let me know what you think about that idea.
Let's have a look.
We'll see how it goes. Who wants to start?
Well, let's start with a submission.
Let's start with a submission. Okay, so if I start you off, we've got Alex here. Alex is from the Midlands, and he is in the Midlands, yes, and he is submitting his suggestion, which consists of, and you're going to have some follow-up questions, and I will explain because I've delved into what this concept was about, and it consists of a bidet.
A bidet. Okay.
A bidet, yes.
Right. So before I ask questions, I'll
Yeah.
just attempt to see his reasoning behind this.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, so if I had a little bidet by my side, what would I do? Well, I mean, I'd wash my arse.
You would, yeah.
That is
the
always an
purpose.
option. Now, is he saying? I have heard this before, and I don't know if I can really say it because this is a child-friendly show.
Wow.
Is it a child-friendly show?
I don't know. We swear a lot, so I have to keep clicking the explicit
All right,
button
well,
for every
get
episode.
Get the beeper ready if I shouldn't say any of that.
I mean, I've left them in the previous episode.
So,
explicit
if
will be
you
on there.
If you sit down a lot and game a lot, and we talk about this at work because we get very, very busy at work and we're stuck in our seat and we talk about basically sweaty balls.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can't
yeah.
move.
Oh,
You're
that
just
is
sitting there.
A real
Now,
problem.
What about take away the gaming chair, just sit in your bidet?
Interesting. So you sit
Now-
in the bidet and then
And
you.
you're. I can't say this.
and then
But
you-
just picture it. You're naked
yeah.
and you're sitting in the bidet.
Butt
so-
naked, no clothes.
Yeah. Just make sure you don't turn the webcam on.
Yeah,
and-
keep that. But blue tack over the lens. You can't trust it.
Now, what was his reasoning behind this?
I mean, his reasoning was, if you sit and you're playing games and you need a shit.
What? You don't shit in a bidet?
No, you can shit in your pants and then use the bidet to clean it up. But I much
Okay.
prefer your idea of just sitting in the bidet to cool down your sweaty balls. That is much more,
Permanently,
much
I mean,
more.
if you're going to have one, you might as well
That's a
use it.
legitimately good idea, actually, because you're right. Sweaty balls
I
is a big
mean-
problem.
Shitting in your pants, yeah, you might be able to clean it up, but you've still got shitty pants to deal with.
I mean, look, one problem at a time, Tom. We can't be dealing with both problems. Deal with this
Bring
with
a washing machine up here,
Yeah,
and you might be
throw
onto
it in.
something.
My next submission is washing machine. You have that on
And
the
then
other
again,
side.
if you just had the washing machine, you could have just sort of reversed your ass back up to the washing machine and turn it on.
Yeah, just do it that way.
Use your ass as the lid.
Yeah, I like it.
That
I
was
like it.
about as rude as we've got on the podcast.
That is,
Apologies to any children listening.
And, yeah, like I told you, I press explicit for every episode, so I wouldn't worry about that.
Okay, so Alex, we're going to go ahead and say that is not a good submission.
I
I'm sorry.
disagree. I
Well,
completely
no,
polar opposite to
no,
that.
you're wrong.
I think that's a no-brainer. As you
No.
quite rightly explained about the ball
But
situation.
The fact
no,
is, we both have to agree that they're no-brainers
Do
to
we?
join the no-brainer club.
You know, this
Yeah.
is a democracy here. I vote
No.
yay,
So the democracy is yay and nay.
and I vote yay.
So the result is nay.
This is a perfect
It doesn't
example
pass.
of how democracy fails.
No pass. Okay. Let me give you one.
Mm.
So I have just moved to the wireless world. I've got wireless keyboard, I've got wireless mouse. And let me just tell you, life is a lot better. Now, my circumstance is a bit different because I work from home, so I need a keyboard and mouse for my work laptop and for my PC. So this Logitech stuff gave me the option to just click a button on the mouse or the keyboard to switch it to my Mac, which makes a hell of a lot of sense for me. So I wouldn't go diving in if you didn't have a situation like that. But all in all, great experience. Overly priced, definitely, but that doesn't matter to No Brainer Club.
Yeah.
For me, it's a no-brainer.
We spoke about this because we said, like, for some reason in the gaming culture, it's always been spoken that you have to have a cabled keyboard and mouse. You just will lose out on what do they call it? You lose out on the response.
Well, the latency.
The latency, yeah. And you know, we listen to the fellow gamers and we follow that trend. But at the
no,
same
that
time-
makes sense. Don't get me wrong. That makes sense. There's not ever going to be anything faster than a cable. Or
Yeah.
is there? There
Or is
actually
there?
is because, like, a lot of keyboards use USB 2 still, which can be beaten by wireless software.
Yeah.
So they actually tested this and did find it to be the same, if not faster, than wired technology.
We're basically almost there and basically going beyond that now. And I think you're right. I think the cabled world is dying and wireless will prevail eventually more so than not. I reckon it's still a few years until the culture takes over though and more wireless
Yeah.
people start coming
One
to
thing
play.
I would say, which holds me back from putting it in No Brainer Club, is micro USB is the charging cable. We are in 2020.
yeah, they're
I
coming
don't
out.
want to see
It's disgusting.
micro USB on any product that costs more than £15.
It's funny because when I look at it, right, it looks to me like when you look at like the classic VGA cables, you know, like the red, yellow. Now it's that old.
Dated. It's
Yeah,
done.
it's that dated. I look at it, I'm like, oh, what is this?
Yeah.
What do I put this into?
God,
Yeah.
What's
We're
this disgusting thing?
throw it out, get that USB-Cs going, because that's the only one. That's it. I just don't understand how when they initially designed these cables, they were like, all right, guys, let's make this so that you can only plug it in one way.
Yeah.
Of course,
but-
you need it to be both ways.
Well, I mean, the technology wasn't there to do that.
What, just to make this shape?
He's not
It
wrong.
can't
He's
be
not
that
wrong.
complex, can it?
I mean,
that advanced.
when you think about it, the first iPhones didn't do it. The first
didn't,
iPhones
yeah.
had the worst thing ever invented.
Yeah, it's
Do you
true.
remember it? Quite
Yeah.
long, thick. Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
disgusting. Then they came out with Lightning, which I
It
guess
makes
is
me
a bit
think
better.
like there is a conspiracy in the sense that when these business people make these things, they go, "It's all right, guys. Listen, we could make this a great cable that works both ways, but then what do we sell after?" So then
I
they just make
don't
the more
believe that.
inferior
I just
product.
think the technology's not there.
We'll see. All right. Well, you. Yay or nay? I have to yay that because I do think wireless. is
Yeah, I
coming
think
into
I
that.
think
Yeah,
wireless technology is a no-brainer.
I yay that for no. I like this new yay nay system. We should
Yay,
definitely keep that going.
Yay.
Okay, so you
okay,
bring us
one
back
more
to
submission?
yeah, one more submission. You brought us back to reality, and I will continue to bring us away from reality.
Okay, perfect.
I actually have more submissions here, but I'll save them for future segments, so they will come up in future episodes. But the last one we'll do for now. This suggestion is from Luke, and his suggestion, and actually,
This is going to be good.
I think you could yay this. despite
Okay.
despite it sounding ridiculous, I think you
Okay.
could yay this because it does make a lot of sense. And it follows along a bit with the whole ball situation, I guess.
Right.
Just
Okay.
a different part of your
Is
body.
it just going to be a toilet?
No. I wouldn't. Come on.
Shower?
I'm more creative. No. I mean, it is water based, but it's not shower.
Okay.
Any other
Let's
guesses?
hear it. Bath.
Yeah, bath. Yeah. The best combination is bath and electrics. No. It is a foot bath, so you weren't far off.
Okay. So right, this is a thing.
What, like
Not a
already?
foot bath, but a foot massager.
Which is
It's
what it
said
is.
to
A foot
be-
bath is a foot massager, basically.
Well, I mean, they sound like two different things. A foot bath would be a bath for your feet. A foot massager would be a massager for your feet.
I think foot baths have like they're like multi-purpose. I think they do.
Okay,
massage.
right. Right off the bat, yeah, absolutely,
right?
Yeah, like this is a solid idea.
It makes
Right
complete
now,
sense.
I have below my feet 3 pedals
Yeah.
that I can just, pedal away at when I want, and it's
Yeah.
quite a nice thing to do. A little bit of, something for your feet to get up to. Usually they're just like sitting there doing nothing, and they get a
Yeah.
bit bored. So, yeah, foot massager, bring it in.
100%. Yeah. Let me just paint a picture for you now, because I think we've actually come to a really constructive conclusion here at No Brainer Club. What you need to be doing is stripping naked, sitting in your bidet, cooling your testicles while having your feet massaged while you play Rainbow Six.
Okay.
You
And
tell me a
Dan,
better
Can I
situation.
just ask something? What about the women that listen? What is their reasoning for a bidet?
Okay, I guess they don't need the bidet for the testicle reason, but they can use it for the poop reason. Right? It's a multi-purpose device. It does both things.
I didn't think women pooped.
Yeah, I mean, they do tend to deny it, but I hear rumor has it. Rumor has it. It's still
Rumor
ongoing.
has
It's
it.
still ongoing.
Okay.
So
All right,
there you
Luke,
go.
great submission.
Great
yay.
submission.
Do we have any more we want to squeeze in, or are you happy with
I'll
that?
save them up. They're good ones, but I'm going to save them for a future no-brainer.
And
So-
lastly, do you have anything you want?
yes, I want the bidet.
No, I mean, do you have a no-brainer to bring to the table?
Yeah, my no-brainer is yay to the bidet. Oh, it rhymes.
Okay, let's get back to the Game On challenge.
Yeah, game on part 3, final part.
Tom decides to try and fight through the injury that he sustained and continues to prepare his ingredients, now getting everything else ready. The last bits of the puzzle before he can get this thing in the oven and hopefully beat the clock against Spencer.
Can't move fast yet, and I've got some experience with this hand movement.
Meanwhile, over in the NHL, a penalty has been given. I think that means someone goes off the pitch, ring, and sits for a while, I think. And that obviously is going to have detrimental effects to Spencer's abilities to score those 5 goals sooner rather than later.
Something happened and Spencer is mad.
For a trip again. Oh, okay, no, I brought him down that time. That angle didn't look like
Oh,
anything.
Bear.
Yeah.
Ethan Bear? What is his name?
Yeah.
Ethan Bear in the penalty box. We are shorthanded again.
Tom, rushing at his best speeds, quickly gets everything in the oven.
I think that goes in now. I think whack at the end. In they go. We're going to give that about what, 5-10 minutes?
And now it's only a matter of waiting for the clock to tick as the oven cooks. How will Spencer be doing over in the NHL game?
Oh, goal. Damn it. So Tampa Bay has just scored, but they were also on a power play, so that was to be expected.
However, as Tom gets close to getting things in the oven, Spencer gets even closer to finishing off the game. With a great offense, another goal is scored in the NHL game, making this now a 3-2 game, 2 more goals to go. Over in the kitchen, the oven is cooking away, with Ledley the dog eating up all the scrapings on the floor. Just as things were getting comfortable for Spencer, the opponent scores an equalizer against him. Things were looking tense at this point.
And the goalie saves it. Well done, goalie. And he didn't save that one, so not so well done to goalie.
With an impressive rally going on ahead, finally Spencer scores and secures that next goal, the 4th goal, meaning 1 more goal to go. Can he score 1 more goal before the Nachos are finished cooking in the oven?
Oh, we're fighting.
Oh,
We're
it
in
appears
a
there's been a
fight.
fight. There's a fight. The gloves are off. I repeat, the gloves are off. Fists, punches. Look at him go. Oomph. Another one to the head. Another one. There's more punches. Punching going on. Fighting, commentating is quite difficult, but the fights are going. And is he going to win? Who's going to win the fight? Oh, he's knocked into the ground. Spencer has won the fight. This could be a big moment to change the game for this moment in time. With the nachos cooking in the oven and only time being the last thing that we have to wait for the nachos to be ready, Spencer's pressure really kicked up a notch. In the famous words of Johanna, he passes to one player, he passes to another player, he passes to another player, and this dribbling finally leads to, yes, it's a goal, it's a 5th goal! It's the goal that ends the times. We check over to Tom's kitchen. Here's the nachos ready. Has he finished? And it appears it's still in the oven. Unfortunately, it is still in the oven. Spencer has cut off the time, and Tom unknowingly has lost the Game On Challenge, the first Game On Challenge of 2021. What a thrilling end to such a game. Now we need to let the news know to these two opponents and get feedback on how their performance they believe went.
Nice.
Okay, good. That was a good segment, actually.
Yeah. That was good.
Just wanna top my vape up.
So I do have two others, but I'll save them because they're also good.
That's a better way to do it.
Yeah,
A much
right?
better way. People see if they can get into the no-brainer club, basically.
Yeah, and that makes people more interested to actually make their submissions because it's funny to hear someone talk about what you
the
submitted.
fact is, talking about things that are actually useful is kind of boring.
Yeah, and I do think the explicit thing, because every episode I've said is explicit, so there isn't really. I mean, obviously you have to balance it, right? We can't just start talking about like shoving dildos up people's urethras. Like, you gotta have a limit. You gotta have a limit to it. But I think talking about shit, I've heard some weirder convos on some of the podcasts I listen to.
Oh,
so.
no doubt. Yeah. But we do, with it being gaming, there is definitely a market younger. Not young, but
it's
like...
true, but not with the games that we talk about. Really, it's not really a young market's game.
I wouldn't say we talk about any games. This is more,
Also,
as I've said, this is a radio show based around gaming. It's not.
Also,
it's supposed to be funny.
It's true, but also young people would feel rebellious listening to it, so they'll do it. And you know, imagine what we were like when we were young. We didn't go, "Oh, I'm not listening to that. It says explicit."
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Bad word, didn't
explicit.
it?
Oh, I can't.
It was more. Oh, this says explicit. Listen to this.
Yeah, exactly. So that would still be fine anyway.
Okay. Gaming news.
Gaming news. Yeah.
You bring it in then.
All right.
Part 4.
All right, welcome back. So you've seen the final part of the Game On Challenge, but Tom, I don't want to hear anything from you right now. Not a single
Nothing.
word. Not a peep. We have an award ceremony that will be coming at the end of this episode, and we will reveal the winner between you and Spencer. And we'll have Spencer with us on the show as well. Not live in person, obviously, but he's in Canada. It's very far away. But we'll give him a ring.
Can I just ask, like, does the quality of the nachos matter? Did that come into it?
Well, I would say...
Because Spencer scored, I assume, 5 perfectly good goals. Now, did I create a perfectly good nacho? Do you know what?
The
I thought it was
challenge,
lovely.
the challenge was never to make perfect nachos. It was just to make functional nachos.
Yeah.
Which, you know, from what we've seen, is definitely the case. So-
We actually, just to fill everyone in, that night we actually... Well, we obviously didn't finish the nachos in one segment. We had a few beers, as you saw during the thing. And, yeah, by the midnight stage, we reheated it all, and it was pretty horrible at that point, but 10 pints deep, everything was very nice.
I think nachos, they're not meant to be reheated, really. But nonetheless, you made the nachos with your homemade salsa and your homemade guacamole, freshly made by your bare hands. Is that right, Tom? Were they freshly made with your bare hands?
The salsa was mine, yeah.
Yeah, of course. So well done. So we'll go on to the award ceremony a bit later, have Spencer on, and we will find out who was the final winner. But before we crack onto that, we've got gaming news. And as promised, Tom, I did develop our gaming news intro. You ready to hear it?
Yes, can't wait.
Should I actually play it to you?
I'd like to hear it, yeah.
What was the way we do this? So I just send it to you.
Hang on, I just need to let Harry in.
All right.
What?
This makes me laugh.
All right, stream it then. Oh, you just sent it. Okay.
I've sent it,
I'll play
yeah.
it. I can't really hear it.
You can't hear it.
Now,
Are
let
you
me
playing
turn.
it? You got to press play.
That's quality. That's really
Right?
good.
It's very,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
has the beeping. Do you remember we said in the
Yeah,
previous
yeah,
episode,
yeah.
the beeping was part of it. Now, if you listen very carefully, you might hear in the background something going, preview. preview. But ignore that. Don't pay attention to that. Yeah, please ignore that. That's it's all part of it.
Whoever does own the copyright to that, ignore that.
Yeah, ignore that
Just
too.
ignore that.
No, but because that's why they put the preview in, because then you can use it with the preview in, and that's their choice.
Yeah, but they're like, no one who takes themselves seriously is going to use it with preview.
But I managed to master preview very well with my not my loud voice, obviously the presenter, whoever introduced it, his loud voice.
Yeah.
All right, gaming news anyway. Tom, what have you got for us?
Okay, big news. Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remake coming out.
What?
Do you know about this?
I don't know.
You
about
don't know
this.
about it.
No.
Yeah, see, the article that I saw basically just said Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remake release date trailer news. You know that classic one.
Yeah, where like you don't know if it's true.
But it's not like it's an announcement. So me and you must have completely missed the announcement somehow.
Yeah, I've not heard anything about it. This seems like very big news. This is like what people have been asking for a long time.
So it is slated to come out November 2021.
That's not that long away.
And it looks very similar to Let's Go Eevee Pikachu. That sort of vibe.
Which is exactly what I want.
Exactly. We both said we loved.
Yeah.
I
don't
know,
change the game. Just make it visually more appealing.
I mean, I definitely played Pokemon Diamond in the past, so I wouldn't say I couldn't remember everything about it. So yeah, definitely.
Not as iconic as like Pokemon Red, which Let's Go Eevee was based on. Obviously, that was a lot more in my mind as to what was happening in that one in comparison to Diamond.
They've been really creative with the names. It's Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl.
Well, I mean, if anyone's going to give you really blatant names, it's going to be Pokemon. I mean,
Brilliant Diamond is just so poor.
70% of their Pokemon are named after the animal it's based on.
They should have done it with the same letter as the D, like Pokemon Dramatic Diamond, Pokemon.
Yeah, rolls off the tongue better.
Pokemon, I need another D.
Dangerous
Diamond. Pokemon Pooey Pearl.
Yeah, Pooey Pearl. Get them a bidet. That's all they need. Yeah. I'll fix that problem. That's pretty exciting, actually.
Yeah,
so
that's
November.
Great news. Yeah, looking forward to that.
Confirmed or rumored, though? What are we dealing with here?
Confirmed.
That's confirmed.
I'm looking at official trailers. Yeah.
Oh, amazing! Wow, that is very
not
exciting.
confirmed the release date. Sorry, that is when it's likely to release.
That is exciting. Well, on the topic of remakes, my story is also about remakes, and it's a story I seem to bring up regularly. It's become a thing that I seem to always bring up, and it's Last of Us based, and they are actually talking about remaking the first Last of Us for the PS5.
For the PS5, yeah.
Which, on one hand, this is like with GTA, this is another remaster. They've already remastered it once, they're remastering it again. But on the other hand, I'm quite keen actually to play all of them again, and I'd like to be able to bring that standard up to how I remember it, which, a remaster would accomplish. So I'm not against that at all, actually. And unfortunately, take my money. I will throw my money at you, no problem, and I will buy that without question because I would love to play a Last of Us remaster.
So they aren't going to release them as Last of Us 1 and 2 on PS5.
No, so part 2 you can play on the PS5 already, but that game is already optimized so well. There's nothing to really remaster.
Didn't they do that with the PS4? Didn't they release Last of Us 1 and 2 on the PS4?
Yes. So one was
a package.
One was I don't know if they did it as a package, but one was a remaster on the PS4. Because it originally came out on the PS3, which makes it all the more impressive as a game. And then part 2 is just so well made that actually the PS5 will be able to just run that better than what the PS4 was able to accomplish.
But I'm sure that was in the mind when creating Last of Us 2. Like,
they knew
the release time of it.
They knew it'd carry over. So I haven't got a PS5, and I'm still a ways away from even thinking about buying one. But when I do, I'm definitely going to have my Last of Us journey again, all upgraded, and that's something I look forward to.
I mean, I'm not going to get into this debate again, but I can't believe you even want the PS5. Anyway, moving on. Nintendo Switch reportedly gets Bluetooth audio support in latest update.
I don't understand how it didn't start with that.
It's just a shocking thing that they didn't include. I've actually bought a little adapter which goes in the USB port at the bottom to make it Bluetooth. Yeah. That's how much I needed it. Because basically everything's Bluetooth now. Dan, the earphones you own for your phone. Bluetooth. Yeah. So basically, if you're got your Nintendo Switch on a train, you have to have wired earphones, which no one really owns anymore because, well, number one, you can't plug them into your phone.
Yeah, there's no auxiliary input anymore. No. Those have been thrown out the window. So, you can't. I completely agree. And I don't understand how we didn't have it in the first place. And my next question for you is going to be, if they're just giving you an update that gives
Yeah,
you
well,
Bluetooth,
that's the shocking bit. It
Wasn't
clearly
Bluetooth already
was
there?
capable of it
yeah,
the whole time. I
Doesn't
guess
make any
Bluetooth
sense.
was there because that's probably how the controllers, etc., will connect.
yeah, because there was some element of or Bluetooth or infrared or something like that. But like,
There must have been something, yeah.
yeah, so I mean, I find that a bit of a joke. That to me is another example of what I was saying earlier about business cons, where like they've been all right, guys, don't give it all to them at once. However, they're not making any extra money doing this, are they? I suppose because people.
No, but it's just a requested feature that should be there.
Yeah, it should have been there in the first place. Yeah, that's nonsense. Well, I'm glad they're bringing it anyway because it's about time they bring the Bluetooth headset because that's what it needs. It always did need it. And then my last story, I actually had to because I wanted to look a little bit into it because I keep hearing about it, but I never actually made sure I understood what the game was about. Now I do. You know Deathloop? Have you heard of Deathloop?
No.
So Deathloop has been talked about quite a while. It's Bethesda guys, you know, the guys that do BioShock. Oh, is it BioShock? Do they do BioShock? No,
They do Skyrim.
They do Skyrim. Do they do BioShock as well?
No.
Anyway, nothing here nor there. But it's a really cool concept. It's basically like a Groundhog Day vibe. So, you know, you live the same day over and over again. So the story is basically...
Cool.
You respawn every time you die in the same beginning level, and every time you do the level, you learn more about the game. You learn more. It's almost like roguelike, which is something you would love. You learn more about the level. You learn more about what you're doing, but you also carry over your abilities each time you respawn. So you're getting stronger and stronger. So the idea is that the game to win is just kill these 8 people, but obviously you're not going to do it first time around. Slowly but surely, you'll be able to top that situation. And that's
Sounds
not it.
really cool.
That's not it. They added one extra bit to make it even cooler. There are 2 people in the story campaign, you and an online opponent or an AI, but obviously why wouldn't you do it online? So you might clash with your online opponent while trying to complete this story at the same time on this time loop that you're experiencing.
So would this online opponent be the same the whole way through your playthrough?
No, so obviously, so the story has an assigned character, and a different online player is going to represent like the opponent that you're playing. But nonetheless, it's just another element to add to the game while you're playing.
Sounds cool. Yeah,
keep
no,
an eye
I really
out.
like the
Really
sound
good
of it.
concept.
But why did you bring it up? Just because of the game itself?
Because, well, I've been thinking about it, but also because it's just been delayed.
Okay, yeah. That's
so-
what I was going to mention that,
Yeah,
but I thought
yeah.
you was about
No,
to.
it's been delayed. It was meant to come out, and this is not the first delay. They've delayed it a few times.
Bethesda delays something. Shit
They
shock
love it.
horror.
And the delay excuses, as always, is, you know, they want to make sure it's all right. Now, my only concern is this is exactly the journey Cyberpunk took, which was delay. We want to make sure it's right. Delay. We want to make sure it's right. All right, guys, it's right. Let's release it. Oh, it isn't right. I hope definitely doesn't follow the same journey. But at its essence, it's not as vast as Cyberpunk, so I would think they'd be able to get it right.
The future is bright for
Yeah.
games, but
Yeah,
everything's delayed. Listen,
Yeah.
Harry Potter game is delayed.
Whether
but
it will even
that
come out,
is-
well, who knows?
I think it will, but
There was a lot of PR nightmares around that.
yeah,
wasn't
there was.
Mm.
And that to me is just going to be heaven. And I've just seen something that I didn't even know existed. So I'm adding another bit to the gaming
I had
news.
another one.
The Lord of the Rings Gollum.
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah. And they just released their
Wow.
final for like the first footage of it, which hasn't been released in ages. A really original
Have they?
idea.
It's delayed till 2022.
Yeah, but they released like a actual game.
Yeah,
well,
I'm just
very
looking at
minimal
some
gameplay.
screenshots. It looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I think it's a really original idea. My only worry is, well, what's the limit? You know, you're not fighting with swords. You don't have magic powers. Like you are basically just this creature that crawls around.
But
all
you'll
over
probably
the place.
get the ring at some point.
Maybe, and I know that it's gonna be heavily a stealth element to it, which is cool. I like stealth games, so that could work. It's just how they need to make sure they've made it with a lot of ingenuity to get it to work, which hopefully they have.
Again, Lord of the Rings is just crying out. It's crying out for a special game. The Two Towers, the PS2 games,
And Return
they
of the
were
King.
good.
Yeah.
They were
They were
brilliant.
amazing. They were amazing. Spectacular.
But they
And
were
co-op.
brilliant for then. You couldn't enjoy them now, really.
Yeah, it's not really. You know what? I would play a remaster of that actually. I should think
No,
about doing that.
There's so many. So it's just all comes down to all these copyright issues. No one can bring it out.
Yeah. That's what
It's
limits
frustrating.
us. Very
Anyway, that's
frustrating.
gaming news for you.
That is gaming news. Yeah, so we better move on because we are
So
running
the
out of time here.
award ceremony is
We're going to move on to the award ceremony. So check back in a moment and we will see who the winner of the Game On Challenge first ever.
It's very exciting.
Very exciting indeed. See you in a bit.
And then a bit.
So
See you
this
in
will
a
be
bit.
the award ceremony, and then we'll do the ending segment, and that's it.
You don't feel like we should talk about?
What?
No, we can't really. Like
We'll talk-
the
we'll-
awards.
Yeah, we will do in the award ceremony, right?
Okay. All right. Yeah.
The last bit will just be our ending, my riddle, and then the ending.
Okay.
Do you want to bring it in?
All right, and that is it for this week's podcast. Dan, it was a good one, wasn't it?
It was a very, very good one, really. Well, I mean, we had Game On Challenge finally, which we're going to get these rolling now. So please, anyone that has a Game On Challenge for either myself or Tom or both of us, submit them again to Instagram, Facebook, email, all Below Average Gamers podcast with the email.
I mean, now
being
you've
at
kind of
gmail.com.
got the idea of what the Game On Challenge is.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get a few more submissions.
Yeah,
people.
exactly.
You know, if you think you can beat us at anything, just give us a shout. Don't try Rocket League, though, because you won't beat me.
Oh, the real challenge there. Or, if you think of something creative like we did this time with Nachos versus NHL, do the same yourself.
Yeah,
like, try and come up with a creative competition based on the game that you think you're very good at. So, yeah, please submit that to us. But other than that, we better carry on and end the episode because we have really run over, as we always do. We always plan to try and keep it time scheduled.
This was bound to be a long one, to be fair.
And it's just so much good content, Tom. What can we do? I mean,
what can we do?
Are we to be blamed for providing free, good content to the people? I don't think so.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to end it on a riddle. I made a riddle this time, unlike last week's attempt. And here is the riddle for you guys. You ready?
Yep, it goes. What is virtual?
No, it actually goes. The Welsh flag is from the same family. Purple with fire from another land. Riches are what he holds dear. Saving his friends despite having no hands.
I blanked out on the Welsh flag.
Good.
Can we go one more time?
Yes, we can go one more time. The Welsh flag is from the same family. Purple with fire and from another land. Riches are what he holds dear. Saving his friends despite having no hands. Any ideas? Don't say it, but any ideas?
No.
Yes, the silence.
Absolutely none.
So it's a tricky one, but you have to just think deeply
No hands.
into it.
Riches is what he wants.
Purple with fire and Welsh flag relations. You can work it out.
Flag relations.
You can work it out, but don't work it out now. We'll leave that to our listeners. So put your submissions in. I've already told you the ways to do it. Let us know what you think it is. And you know what? I'm feeling generous. If you get it right, I might even give you a certificate, just like we gave the winner earlier today a certificate. So let's end the episode. Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, I feel like you might have given something away there.
That's very problematic. What do we do?
Just go back in. Just go. Okay, there's the riddle. Go again.
Yeah, fine.
So Spencer won. Thanks, Dan.
No, he hasn't. They haven't made. I haven't recorded it yet.
Oh, okay.
I just was trying to make it work, but it didn't work that way.
Okay, just go back in from. Okay, there's your riddle, and just say any ideas, Tom. Something like that.
You already said what your ideas were, right?
Yeah, but I don't know where
Okay.
we cut other than this.
Oh no, I remember it works. We can just cut it and be
Okay.
like.
All right.
So that's the riddle for this week, and obviously, as I said, submit to us your ideas. I want to hear what they are, and if you're a winner, it'll be a very proud achievement for you. You'll be spoken about on the episode itself, and I might even give you a prize. I'll see how I feel. Otherwise, unfortunately, we're going to have to end this episode.
Don't actually. Sorry.
What? We're not going to end the episode.
Don't. I just
Let's
had
talk
a
for another
thought.
hour.
When you mentioned prize,
Yeah.
you remember that prize that I won on Christmas? That was in the
No.
Christmas box.
I don't know what you're speaking of. I think it's time to end the episode, so thank you very much for listening to another episode of Below Average Gamers podcast. And we look forward to seeing you in our next week. From myself, I say goodbye. And Tom, nothing about anything to do with the Christmas special
And I
episode
look
prizes.
forward
Don't
to
know what
my
you're talking about
present.
there. Just carry on and end the episode.
See you
So thank
next
you very
week.
much. Oh, I've got to go now. See you later.
Right.